Hi, my name is Jonathan Gudrow. This is our lovely mini dachshund, Willabean. She's just going out and exploring. But I wanted to make this, I hope it's going to be short, probably not, but an intro video to our Citation Explore camper. It's the first one in America. We're the first owners to buy one here, and a lot of people have been asking us for us to make this video, so here we are. We're gonna do a tour. We've been living in this for the past year, almost literally a year, come April. So it's a Citation Explore 10.2. It's got a slide. We'll do a walk around, but yeah, let's get into it. So right now we're sitting on a Ram 5500 chassis. There is nothing special to this truck. We have not upgraded it or done anything to it. But yeah, it's on a flat bed. It's on the 9.5 foot bed. We can open up the truck if you guys want to see. It's just on a tradesman trim. Very basic. Sorry, it's messy. It is what it is. We live out of this, so don't expect everything to be perfect. One thing I do want to do this summer is put on some new like off-roading tires. That would be really nice, mainly because we have to get new tires. Yeah, the payload on this I think is about like 10 to 12,000 pounds, so more than enough to carry this truck, carry this camper, not this truck. And yeah, so I guess we'll just start on this side. Whoop, watch out for the dog. As you can see, we have a pretty big awning on top. One thing I don't like about awnings on the very top of the camper is, well, you can see it. There's not much shade underneath it, but I think almost every truck camper has them way at the top. They're more efficient when they're off the truck and you can bring it all the way down. Works better that way. We come around, you can see we've got some side box storage here. This is typically where we put our truck levelers and chairs and fireplace and all that stuff. You can see some of that stuff is out. If you want to zoom in here, and I'll get into the electrical system later. It's not very neat, but this is what I have put together. This is our DC to DC charger for the electrical system that we had installed. It's an EcoFlow. You can back out. You don't have to stay out. But yeah, we ran the battery charger. Super easy. I was in a big hurry to get this done before we got on the road because we moved out of our apartment beforehand and had to get this installed. So it's not pretty. I will pretty that up at another time. We have the dually bracket or dually swing out brackets to take the camper on and off. We do take this off when we can. Obviously a site like this, probably not. But we do take it off and on to use the truck if we're staying at a place, you know, for a longer extended amount of time. Come around, we've got the, whatever these are called, some kind of guns.
Yeah, I know the word too. That's
yeah, I know. Yep. Oh well. Moving on. That's how we hold it. We don't really notice while we're driving that this thing shifts around too much. It is a little more side heavy on this side because of the electrical system and where we had installed it. But yeah, I'll show that later. In here we have the Truma Comfort. I believe that's what it's called. It's the heater and water heater. It's a 2.6 gallon water heater in there. Honestly, we've been down into negative, what, 10?
Yeah, I'd say.
Negative 10. And we have been, you know, in shorts and a t-shirt just fine. Nothing froze, even with water lines like this close. It gets hot in this compartment because that's the heater, which is great. All the water lines are on one side, so we've had no issues, not a single one. This heater is absolutely incredible. Here's the vent. Last fall when we went back to Maine, we live in Colorado, but we drove back to Maine, and with Danielle's dad, we built a storage box, which is very convenient because, as you can tell, this is a lot of wasted space that could be used for storage. I would eventually like to get the stable camper boxes that fit perfectly in here. The only thing that I'm worried about is just the storage height on some of those boxes because it limits you on what you can actually put in. we have a generator on the other side, and we'll walk around and I'll show that. But as you can see here, it's kind of, you know, a catch-all. I keep an extra propane tank because this does carry 2 extra propane tanks, 2 20-pound propane tanks. More than enough propane, especially during the summertime. I think when we picked this up, we didn't even use 2 20-pound propane tanks for like 5 months.
Oh, so long.
Yeah, it wasn't until wintertime came and then we were like, oh, we're out of propane, and it lasted a long time. So yeah, we keep a lot of stuff in here. I have like my truck oil change stuff in the back, which is very convenient because then that saves us money from having to do that. So in here is where the propane is, and it's on a slide out, which makes it very convenient. It is nice to have a step stool. I'm tall. I'm like 6'2", almost 6'3". So for me, it's not too bad, but if you're a little bit shorter, you'll definitely want a step stool to get up in here and take those on and off. But super easy, super efficient, which is great. Coming around here, we have another very messy storage compartment.
It's winter, don't judge us.
Yeah, exactly. Summertime, we'll clean out the winter stuff and go into there. But in here, this is, you know, when we do dishes. But you can see in here, we have the Happy Jack system. The remote is right there. And yeah, makes it super easy. But there's a lot of storage in this compartment.
Yep.
And it's just not organized. I mean, living on the road, I'm sure most of you know, wherever you can throw something, you throw something. So we'll just throw that back in there. Coming around to the side, we have a ladder to the roof, which is great. I installed permanently because we do work and live on the road full time. Danielle has her own business and I work remotely as well. So Starlink is very essential. And you can see it's up there. I just bought this on Amazon. It was like $40. Pretty cheap. It's not professionally wired in. I just threw the wire down into this compartment door. It's probably not great. Probably ruins the wire, but it's working. This is where the original battery that came with the camper was stored. It is still back there, but nothing is actually hooked up to that battery anymore. I kept it in there because right now, I think probably only a couple months ago, I had wired the Happy Jack system to the EcoFlow power panel. And so I took the live wire out of that battery and put it up in there, but it's grounded to this battery. So eventually I'll have to shift that around. But as you can see here, more storage, just kind of a catch-all for winter hats and all the random stuff. But once I can get that battery out of there, you know, we'll have something in there. All right. While I'm here, we're on the bumper. Very dusty and dirty. It does get very dirty on dirt roads inside this compartment. So don't put anything in there that you don't want to get dirty. I've put shoes in there and made that mistake, and they got very dirty. But it's a nice catch-all. Like I put our sewer stuff in these compartments, like water hoses and all that. And on the other side is all those attachments. Coming around, we have a massive basement, which we use to store our skis and snowboard. Uh-oh, it's our dog. But yeah, we have a table under here. One thing that I kind of wish that they left in here, you can see the water tank. We do have a 42-gallon fresh water tank. I believe a 24-gallon, and I can check the spec sheet, but I think it's a 24 or 28-gallon black tank and a 28-gallon gray tank. It's great. Yep. It's awesome, especially during the winter time. We've had no issues dumping tanks, all of that stuff. All the flush valves are in here. I've had no issues. This basement is heated with the Truma system. I have a thermostat inside as well, and it gets very toasty in there. It's like usually hotter in the basement than it is in the camper, which is kind of neat. It keeps your snowboards dry and all that stuff. Like I was saying, I do wish that they left the sliding tray in there. This camper is heavy. It comes in at, I think, a dry weight of 4,900 pounds. And then, you know, you add propane, water, all of your gear. I haven't weighed it, so we will weigh this eventually, probably this summer, and I'll update you on that. But I'm assuming we're probably right around 7,000 pounds fully loaded. It's heavy. It's a heavy camper, but you know, one of the distinctions too, it's like once you start getting into some of those Lance campers or host campers, you know, with 3 slides, which, you know, there's pros and cons to having all of those slides. They're heavy campers, so you need a big truck. You need a 5500 no matter what, and that's why we got the truck first and then we purchased this. I don't care about weight. But with that said, I wish they kept the sliding tray in there because they did have it on their prototype. That would have been much nicer, because sometimes stuff does, like tables and chairs, and when you slam on the brakes, it'll go all the way to the back, and you're, you know, trying to fish it out with a hook, anything that you can that's long enough that can attach and get that. So that's a little bit of a gripe, but with snowboards and stuff like that, we haven't had any issues. This compartment again is more storage. I can open that up. We have a handle that comes out. Those stairs do flip up as well while you're traveling. In here is like where we keep our shoes. As you can tell, there's no place for a lot of this stuff, so it's close to the door, and then we can grab our shoes and go, which is great. We'll keep coming around. So one of the reasons why we did go with this camper, and maybe not a host or a Lance, you know, now that we've lived full time, kind of having some, you know, ebbs and flows on how I actually feel about this with living space inside. But originally I didn't want a massive slide out that came out, you know, this far, mainly because of wintertime. You know, we want to have the slide out during winter and not have to worry about clearing off all the snow on all the slides, which, trust me, we were just in Lake Tahoe. We got 10 feet of snow while we were there, and I would not want to be cleaning off all the slides. So this made it very easy. You do have to go up there and clean it off because it does not have a cover. Maybe that's an enhancement we'll do later. That would be very nice. But more so, one time we did have an electrical problem with the EcoFlow system, not the camper, where it went out because we didn't have the right EcoFlow distribution panel in there yet, because it was on back order and we just wired it up to what was already there. The EcoFlow system did not like that. So it just shut off all of our 12-volt system. We had the slide out, and then we did have to drive with the slide out. So if we had one of those big slides, I wouldn't have done that. We would have been stuck where we were, and that would have sucked. So this kind of saves that from, you know, God forbid you have an emergency and you do have to drive, you'll be fine. Coming around, one thing we did add was a sewer hose extension pipe. The one that came with it was too short. It's nice to have a very long pipe, especially when you're parked away or you have to go from the other side. So we added that. This is where it all comes out, all that good stuff. We do run off 30 amp power. So we carry a generator with us, a 4,000 watt Champion generator, more than enough to power everything in here, charge batteries, all of that. We have an outside shower. We do use that to rinse things off, all of that. This is where your city water connection and fresh water fill is, which is great. Coming up, we have more storage. This is where I keep like the electrical cord, our fresh water hose, all of that stuff. That's really all we use that for. Coming around, you can see another storage box. This is where I keep the generator and some other components. More storage is where we keep all of our extra jackets and stuff like that for wintertime. Summertime, that'll be emptied out, and who knows what will be put back in there. Let's see here. Another cabinet down here. And yeah, I don't think there's too much else to see on this side. You can see the windows. They are single pane, I believe. I don't know the actual specs on those, but they come out. I do miss the acrylic windows on our Scout camper, mainly because you can take the screen off and have all that fresh air coming in, see all that. But I mean, these are so nice during the wintertime. I don't think they're not cold or anything. I don't know if you've noticed that, but they're great. They do the job. They keep the sun out during the summertime.
Tinting is great
yeah,
on
the
them.
tint is.
You can't
very
see in the camper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nighttime obviously that's different because the light's inside, but during the day you can't see into the camper. Oh, one thing that we didn't show was the massive window on the front.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the best part.
That's the best part. And that's kind of why we got this camper, was because we like the openness feel of it, as you can see. But yeah, it's very dirty, but that's to be expected. But yeah, we've had no issues. It really opens that up. Oh, sorry, our dog is not happy. Maybe I'll grab her.
Little dog, big desert.
Yeah, we'll bring her inside. Okay, we've tamed the little beast. She is very happy and content now because we're closer. Want to come with Dad? Yep, she does. Like I said, she's the star of the show here, Willoughbean. Okay, let's go inside the camper and show you what you're really probably here for. All right, the screen door. All right, Willie, you can walk around and be free. You're a free doggy.
Very sad.
Just like, are you gonna leave me? Okay, welcome to our home inside. We'll start first off with the dinette area. Face-to-face dinette, pretty self-explanatory, I think. This does convert into a little couch area. We call it the couch. A bed for a second area. We did have a friend stay with us. He's 6'2", just like I am, or 6'1". You do, if you kind of go diagonal a little bit, you will fit. It's not cramped for a tall person. If you're a little bit shorter, you'll have no problem fitting on the face-to-face dinette. But yeah, you just pull this lever here and push down on the table, put the cushions out, and boom, you're ready to go. Here we have the pull-down shade. It does all right at blacking out. That's an adult joke, I guess. Danielle has been thinking of putting up actual curtains here. It just would look really nice. I think it'd dress it up, make it feel a little bit more homey. She's really good at that. Coming around, you'll see the coat rack that we installed after we got this. One thing with wintertime, right? You need a winter jacket and you don't want to go back out to the truck to go get it. So we put this up. It's really the only place that we found that we could put something up. And you're probably wondering, can the slide come in with all the jackets here? We do it. I will take off jackets that are right here because the slide comes in about right here. So you can leave really whatever right here and it'll just push the jackets towards the door. It doesn't block the door. Pretty good. Let's see here, we have 2 storage cubbies here. This is where we keep bowls, plates, cups, etc. And another storage area, which is our pantry items. One thing I probably forgot to mention was down here, there is an outlet where we use to charge our laptops when we're working at the desk, and Danielle got some nice magazine holders that really became a catch-all for us. And then right when we come in, we've got a little key holder for one set of keys because we don't have Danielle's car anymore. Different story for a different time. This is the slide control. We do have an awning right in front of the door here. It's impeded by the Starlink mount that I have on the ladder. Whatever, no big deal. This is the awning control for out there. It's an automatic awning, opens up and closes on its own, which is great. This is the light switch for outside lights. This is the awning light, which is actually creates a great ambiance. And then we have the 2 lights inside for the living quarters or dining room quarters here. Pretty simple. Underneath here is where I installed the 12-volt Starlink converter, and the router is under there as well, so hides it. Makes it really nice and neat, doesn't take up more space. Going into the bathroom, we added this mirror. This mirror also doubles as a, I don't know, what would you call it?
Like a cover.
Yeah, like a cover to the door, because when you're inside, that skylight does illuminate, every shadowy figure in there. So that gives you a little bit more privacy for your business inside. going inside the bathroom, if you want to, I'll just shut that because you don't need to see inside the toilet. But there's a porcelain toilet, I believe it's Dometic, and we have a heater vent coming in there. The shower, I'll stand in here for reference. I'm 6'2". Thank God for the skylight, because otherwise I'd be like this. I fit fine. Do I wish, there's pros and cons to a wet bath, as everybody knows, or don't know. You can probably see if you're showering. What I find when I'm showering in here, it's actually really cozy, especially when you have really hot water. This room gets really warm. I know Danielle loves it. And yeah, it's not that bad. Or you can sit down and do your business. We did add a shower curtain. I think we realized the first time that we did this that it did kind of leak around the door. So we had to add a shower curtain just to prevent that from getting into the door seal there and going onto the floor. No biggie. There is a max air fan right here with a light and a fan. We added all of these little storage cubbies after the fact. What are some fun facts about the bathroom that I might be missing? Shower time. So if you're on boost mode, and I'll talk a little bit more about the Truma in a second, but you could get about 8 minutes, I think you said, right?
Yeah.
An 8-minute hot shower, which is actually really good for a 2.6 gallon hot water tank. And honestly, a 10-minute shower is probably what you're gonna take at home if you're just like trying to get in and out and have some leisure while you're in there. So honestly, I like that. And then if we're both trying to shower, it's usually we can both get like a good 4 to 5 minute shower with turning it off and on, in between putting soap in your hair and then rinsing off and then turning it off and then, or turning it on, turning it off, etc. There is a skylight. Obviously you saw that. We do have Reflectix up in there just to black it out at nighttime so you can actually get some sleep in the morning. Working our way down, this is the meat and potatoes. The brains of the operation is all back here. And in here, we have the EcoFlow power kit. It's a 5 kilowatt or 5,000 watt system. We got this installed right when we got the camper. I purchased that separately. The camper did not come with a full out inverter and electrical system. It did have that battery for the 12 volt, but no inverter to run like your microwave or the TV, things like that. You'd have to be hooked up at a campground, etc. Okay, come here. She gets a little feisty when she sees things. So yeah, right here you can see we're about 56%. We can have AC power, DC power. This is all on app control. So I can control this from my phone, which makes it really easy. And anything that I'm missing here? Not really. If you want to know more about the EcoFlow, I can do another video on it. We've loved it. It works great. We get about probably, if we're not using solar and just charging laptops, running the Starlink, and the occasional microwave, probably 2 days, I would say. Is that about what you've seen? Yeah, so about 2 days without solar. We do have 400 watts of solar on the roof. I want to get more. It's not, it's just enough, like on a day like today out in the desert, it's enough to, like when the sun is high, we've barely used any power today because of that. So that's been really nice. It is all digital, which is awesome. So we also have a speaker system, radio system in here, which are these speakers right here. One enhancement I wish we could get from the factory was outside speakers too. It'd be nice to hear what you're playing inside, outside if you go outside. That's the whole point of camping, right? Is to be outside all the time, but a portable speaker does just fine. So yeah, this is clearly like catch-all storage, food, dog stuff, but behind all of this stuff, you'll see the 5 kilowatt battery and the power kit itself mounted to the wall, and all those wires go down behind into here and diversified through there. That's the only place that I could find to put that battery. unfortunately. I would love to expand the system, but I think in order to expand it, I'd have to have the battery like mounted permanently on the flatbed of the truck in a box. Still trying to figure out what to do there. Would love to expand the system, mainly because during the summertime when it's hot, especially if we're going to be in the desert, the Truma Aventa AC unit, honestly, this thing has been awesome. And I was very surprised at how not power hungry it is on eco mode. On eco mode, I think it pulls about 750 watts an hour, which is really good considering the fact that it's a big air conditioner. And on eco mode, this is a small space. You're not going to be worrying about it too much, but that gives us on a full battery 4 hours of running the AC unit. So yeah, it could be better. And that's where this is the Truma Combi system here. This is where you can control the AC unit and the heater, the hot water tank, etc. I'll probably just do a separate video on this one as well, but yeah, this is where we control it all. It does have a remote as well, mainly for the AC unit. Right here we have the hot water, the tank heaters. We don't need to use these. They're on because it's winter time, but we've been down in -10, and I think, like I was saying outside, the basement is hotter always than it is inside of here because it's a heated basement, so these have never been actually on. Here we have the water pump and then all of your tank levels. Oh, geez. Okay. 1 sec. She gets a little crazy when she sees people outside, so I had to shut the door. Working our way down, again, microwave, self-explanatory, hood vent, it's got a light, fan, very loud fan, by the way, don't like that part. Stove, which we use all the time, obviously. We can't be fully electric in here because we don't really have the electrical system for it, so this works just fine. It's a 3-burner. We do use the oven all the time, which is great. We do have side storage, which is kind of like where we put, you know, alcohol, wine, maybe some leftover condiments or more condiments and stuff like that that we don't usually use on a daily basis. Coming around, we have pots, pans, all that fun stuff down here. We have a junk drawer. You always gotta have a junk drawer. And then like camera equipment, batteries, chargers, all that. This is more miscellaneous things, storage and saran wrap, all that, and then extra pantry stuff that we don't typically use on a daily basis either. This is where we use hide our cutlery drawer, can opener, all that fun stuff. One thing that I will point out here is we added a backsplash because it was the same color. One thing about gray is blah. And you need to add a little bit of color. And we're, you know, living in here for a year, we still haven't done that much, but we did add the backsplash. Danielle's idea, she did a great job on choosing the backsplash. And then we added some spice racks and things to hold tea and honey and all that for when we're doing. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention with the EcoFlow 2 is because the power kit or power hub is inside, dog's running around. Because it's in here, I did have to drill out a vent hole in the back, and we used just a 12-volt fan. You can see that right there. We did put a 12-volt fan in there, so it pulls air from in there and pulls it out here. So when we are charging, that will get warm, very warm inside, but we haven't had any issues with that. Cool, I think that's everything here. You got our mountain of dishes because we're in the desert and we haven't done them yet. Just conserve water. Let's see here, more storage. You can kind of see it. Okay, let's go around this way. Big fridge. We love the fridge. Fridge is the best part. It's, I don't know how many cubic feet it is, but it holds a lot. We've put in like storage, like drawers that we can pull out. Because when you're driving, everything tends to move around, or when you open the door, everything falls out, and that prevents that from happening. Freezer's also very deep too, goes, you know, past my elbow there. And we definitely stuff it, that is for sure. And then right here we have a spice rack. Move our second battery out of the way. Open that so you can see quite a bit of storage in there too. Very full. And then we just carry a 1000 watt EcoFlow. I can't remember what that battery is called, but we carry that around just for extra power, which does come in handy for those off-grid days when you don't want to run the generator. Okay, I think that just about covers it here. We have the heat vent here and a heat vent here. So keeps the floor nice and toasty, and because the basement is heated, the floor never gets cold. I think that's probably one thing we realized. We've been in negative 10 degrees and been toasty warm, no socks on, just like walking around. It's like, ooh, it's nice and toasty. Of course, you get like in the dinette area where this is protruded out. Gets a little chilly on that side, but it's not too bad. All right, we'll work our way up into here. Oh, one thing, there are lights underneath. The bedroom lights. We don't really use those bedroom lights that often because Danielle got some LED light strips that she installed back here, which creates a great ambiance. And then we also put LED light strips behind the slide too to give kind of backlight up in there. So pretty great stuff. All right, now we're in the bedroom area. Pretty self-explanatory, I think. Let's see. Pretty big storage here. Let's see, maybe I can open this. We have a massive mattress topper, so it's not the design of the camper. It's because we wanted our mattress to be extra comfy, so we have to push that all down. But you can see there's quite a bit of storage in here, and I just fold my clothes and stick them in there. There's an outlet up here that the TV is plugged in. It's not a 12-volt TV. It does run off the AC power, but it's like one of the only things that we need to turn on when we need to run the AC if we want to watch Netflix or, you know, anything of that nature. There's a lot of storage in these cubbies too, which I can open up. Not a bad view if you ask me either.
Oh, I can't see it really well.
No. The sun's coming down that way. But yeah, it's a very big cubby, goes all the way down to the floor. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. Or at least I can. Danielle has a lot more stuff than me. And I know she still struggles to find where to put her clothes. Leaning back here, there's a drawer that comes out. Just more storage, bedside storage, which is great. And then obviously you have reading lights here. You also have the shades that come down here. Might leave that like that to keep a little heat out. Those are all on push button locks, which makes it easy to keep everything stored. It's the same thing on this side. And then of course we have that giant window in the front that you saw from the front. It's covered with all of the pillows. And yes, we do sleep with all of the pillows. We have the Max air fan here. One thing I would like to upgrade that so we can use it during the winter time. If there's a lot of snow, we can't use that because all just packs on top of it. And yeah, self-explanatory there. Big skylight up front, which we do love as well. Sometimes I wish it was back here more so we could actually stargaze from laying in bed. When you're laying back here, you can't see out the skylight. But we have found that if we sit this way, like with our back to this, you can look out. And then we'll put the reflectix up at night just to block out any moonlight that comes through. And it gets pretty dark in here, which is great. So, man, am I missing anything?
The panel thing.
What panel?
Yes.
All right. The spec sheet of the actual camper. So let's see here. Last thing we will see. Does it have? No. It might be outside. I think this is just the electrical. But that's okay. All right. Yeah. And I think I said outside 4,900 pounds dry weight, probably 5,100 pounds wet weight. It's not too bad. And then you add all of your gear and things like that. With a 5,500, you don't have to worry about payload. And my biggest recommendation would be to, if you're going to get a truck camper that's anywhere near the, 4,000 plus, just look at getting a 5,500 because then you're going to be putting thousands of dollars into suspension upgrades. If if you do. There's a lot of people that don't. But I think it just makes it a much more comfortable ride when you're driving something like this. I mean, granted, we live out of this full time. Having a truck that can pull a camper like this, and even if we want to like upgrade to a different camper that has 3 slides and a massive floor plan, we have a truck for it, which is, you know, options. Having options is great with having a truck. I made a mistake before with a Scout camper. We used to have a Scout Yoho, and I had it on a Tacoma, did great on the Tacoma, and then I got it on a Tundra, and my Tacoma had better payload than my Tundra. So I made that mistake once, and I will never make that mistake again. So yeah, that is the tour of the Citation 10.2 truck camper. We're absolutely in love with it. We have had no issues with this camper whatsoever. Not one. Nothing has failed on us since, you know, 1 year of ownership, through all of the seasons, through really wet rain, through really heavy snow. I mean, we were in 3 feet of snow in Lake Tahoe not too long ago, and had no issues with that. Very warm, very comfortable. You know, there are some, you know, enhancements that we'd like to do to make it feel a little bit more homey, but you know, that's, if anybody has a camper like this, like, that's what you're gonna do no matter what. You're gonna modify it and make it yours, and that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, if you have any questions on the camper itself or any of the systems, just leave a comment, send us a message. Would be happy to answer what I can, and if I can't answer them, I'll direct you to the person that can. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.